All right. We have returned. Where were we?
Baba blinks out of existence.
Oh, that's right.
And then as soon as he blinks out of existence, several little impy-looking dudes, about 3 feet tall, rush out and they start placing plates. They have plates and cups, and they're placing cups and plates on the table. And then a larger-looking imp, this one's about 5 feet, but very rotund, waddles out and says, "Greetings, I will be your chef, Chef Dan." That has an apostrophe in there. It's Dan.
Is he the wizard?
Uh,
Earlier you said
you
there was a
asking the character, or
well. Earlier you said there was a chef wizard.
right? Well, he doesn't look like a wizard. He looks like a chef.
Okay.
I mean, you can ask him.
Is his hat is his chef clothes normal or is he all black?
He's all black, and he's wearing these black pants, like these khaki-style pants, and he has like a button-up shirt and an apron in front. He's got a chef hat on top of his head.
But it's
And
pitch
he's-
black.
It's black. Oh no, it's colorful in there, but he's black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can see colors, in the room. This room is colored normally, for the most part. But the demons themselves are black, and they're very there's a little bit of smoke emanating from them as they move around and walk. And the chef comes out. "I'm Chef Dan. One of you wanted to inspect the kitchen.
I did.
Please come with me.
All right.
The rest of you, please sit by the fire." Whoosh! The hearth lights up, and there's several comfy chairs. And then several more imps run out, and they begin pouring what the drinks you've asked for into these goblets that they've carried out with them, and put them by these little tables next to the chairs. While you await dinner, please sit here.
I would like to try the green water.
I'll try mine.
All right. So the piss ale is red. It's looks like a deep red wine, but there's like a green, glowy, almost not a fish, but it behaves like a fish floating around in the piss ale. And you go to taste it, and it's thick and viscous, but delicious, sweet and fruity. And you immediately feel like when you get a kick from alcohol, you just feel like a bite. And start feeling a bit of a glow. Are immediately feeling, it's very powerful. It just washes over you. A drunk feeling. Your green water, John, tastes like water with seaweed in it. It's not tasty.
I don't know what I was expecting, but
How does it taste, Stanley?
about what you would think it would taste like.
Wanna try mine? It's actually pretty good.
There's a glass of Griffin's blood there for you, Varel.
I'm gonna take a sip of what Hope's offering.
Yeah, it's strong, so be careful.
Is it the same for me?
You feel an immediate kick of alcohol, tastes like a deep red wine, and you start feeling pretty good. You got a glow on. You start
That
feeling excited.
is awfully strong. It was
Yeah.
quite good, though.
I was surprised at the flavor.
It's better than green water, that's for sure.
So I'll reach over and take a little drink of the green water and then spit it out. I'm sorry, Stanley. This is. And then I'll drink a little more of the piss. Just
Okay.
a little, though. Not to coat the flavor.
Yes, and to be clear, it's called piss ale from the piss, but there's no urine in this drink.
Yeah.
So the as Nash leaves the room and follows the chef from the other hallway, the courtesans begin arriving, and Hope, describe Hope's perfect man. Perfect, like sexually attractive man. What does he look like?
All right. Well, he would look like a memory. He would have short, kind of messy brown hair. He would be a little taller than Hope, maybe like half a head taller. Muscular, kind of grumpy looking, definitely not friendly. And he'd have shorter horns. They're more like the ones that go back along the head. Yeah, and then human skin, but he's got those like snake eyes.
Okay, so smoldering.
Yeah, good smolder.
Okay, so the courtesan's he's the first to walk in, and he is incredibly attractive. In fact, Pharrell and Stanley have a sense of almost inferiority seeing this handsome, rugged, strong tiefling walk into the room, and he walks immediately to you. He takes one arm, puts it on your waist, and pulls you in close, and puts out his other hand for you to take his hand. And as he makes this motion to there's a male and a female human, both very attractive, human, but again they're black. They're not blackened actually. They're colored normally. So the male and a woman walk in, and they both, one of them has a lute and the other has a violin, and they sit down and immediately begin 1, 2, 3, 4, and they begin no 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 no. And they begin chanting. I can't sing that good. And immediately he's reaching up your hand to dance. So he's like, hope he wants to take your hand.
I'll kind of like wipe away a tear and grab his hand and start dancing.
Grabs your hand, he immediately takes the lead, and he starts moving you, and his body is solid and strong, and he's commanding the dance with you. So this begins. Who else? We've got the brushing. So it's actually what comes out is there's a lizard folk walks out unclothed, bronze as you're colored, but flush in the neck here, and has like a pail with a bunch of tools in it. And the lizard folk approaches you and then looks away as you look at her. And then when you look away, she looks at you. And then when you go to look at her again, she looks away. And then you look away, and then she looks at you. And then as you go to look at her, she looks away.
Like a Boo in Mario.
Does she have a coin inside?
Not knowing what to do, I will begin drinking my griffin's blood.
Okay. Well, again, I'm filling in a little bit for lizard folk here, but in terms of relations, it's usually a sign. Usually, we wait for the first person to make a sign of vulnerability. That's a signal, like perhaps looking at them with your eyes closed. Would denote non-aggression, I guess, or you're exposing vulnerability. Like doing something to expose vulnerability would break this impasse of your custom of being territorial and dominating in all accounts. She behaves like a lizard folk, the real thing.
I still just gotta get myself a little lost in my drink for a moment or
so
two.
you get lost in your drink, and she looks at you waiting, and as you sort of move your eyes to look at her, her eyes move away and look away. She doesn't begin actually cleaning you. Okay, Nash, as well, you see this guy with a straw in his mouth come out, and he's got a top hat on. He's got like a limp in his walk, and he's old. He's got gray hair. Sort of seems to be carrying a fold-up table under his arm. Mm-hmm. Like, which one of y'all name's Nash?
Me.
Well, come over here, you Redbeard. Let's do this.
Redbeard. These are tumors, you bastard. I say to him.
He folds up the table down, sits it down, pulls up a chair, puts it sideways, puts it down. I'm like, all right, what's your pleasure? What are we playing here?
It caught me off guard. I thought it was gonna be a girl for some reason. What do you?
You asked for another eunuch.
What do they play up here?
We play.
What's your
play
favorite?
Poker.
Yeah.
Poker's a game of the devil.
So it's 5-card stud, 7-card stud, Texas Hold'em. Like, what's your deal?
Let's play Omaha.
Oh shit, the one I don't know. I don't know Omaha very well. I don't think. I've played it maybe once or twice. back in the solar mines.
Well, what do you want to play then? This is you're the guest here, not me.
Have you heard of a game called 99?
Have I heard of a game called 99? Shit. I've heard of 99. I'm the best 99 player this side of the piss.
Then that's the game.
All right, well, sit down.
Okay.
Get your ass in that chair. I'm going to whip your butt, boy.
Nash got a salty courtesan.
They're playing cards.
Perfect for him.
Yeah, and so the chef, Dan, sort of looks on and says, didn't you want to inspect the kitchen first?
Yeah, but I probably need... Yeah, am I going alone? Can I bring any of my friends? Yeah, I guess you guys didn't want to go, did you? This was all just my paranoia.
Nash, are you fearful of the kitchen?
A little. I'm fine, though. I'll go. If you guys
Well,
hear...
have fun.
If you
We'll
hear...
see you later, Nash.
I will accompany you, Nash.
Oh, all right. I'm happy to have Varel come with me if that's okay, Chef Man.
And I'll
That's
double hand
fine.
my
Please
drink and-
follow me.
All
Your
right.
courtesans will be here when you get back.
All right.
And Stanley, just as they leave, your courtesan arrives, and it's this older lady. And she's got a towel wrapped up with tools, and she spreads them out on the table next to yours and says, "Sit down there, Sonny, and I'll give you a haircut."
You're the best barber.
My, you're an attractive young man. You know that? If
Oh.
I were 20 years younger, oh, I'd clean the white off them bones.
Yeah.
Nash, go to the kitchen.
All right. I'm going.
Sit down.
And all right, so you guys enter into the kitchen, and this is a large space, you and Varel. And there's a whole bunch of, they look like, children demons. They're very short, they're very young. Some of them kind of have like a attitude, and they're making the food. And Chef Dan's like, "You boy, get the brisket ready. And you over there, this man, we need vegetables. You know how to make a Cobb salad?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, I know how to make a Cobb salad, okay?" And he's like, "So, inspect away." And it's a nice, immaculate kitchen. There's stainless steel countertops. There's beautiful, these cupboards that when they open up, cool air seems to billow forth out of them. And you see, towards the back, there's this little, special cupboard. And when they reach in, their hands disappear, and then they seem to pull out ingredients from the cupboard. And they start working on them, like the beef. He reaches in his hand, and the piece of beef comes out. And there's a whole bunch of people working away. Place looks clean, immaculate. You've never seen a kitchen run this way. And there's about 12 or 15. You can't count the number of teenage demon boys and girls in here.
This looks all right. Any chance I could see up close the food we're getting tonight? Can I see the beef?
Certainly, this way.
I'd
And then
like-
you walk over to where there's this station, and it's got this metal surface that appears to be heated. It's frying things on it. And the beef is laid out on a table next to it with a big cleaver stuck into it.
All right.
It's a big slab of beef.
I get down to it close.
There's no bugs on it.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check if you want to inspect it.
Yeah, I do want to inspect it. Okay, that would be 21.
All right, you take a look, and you look very closely, and you see no bugs. There's no visible bugs in it. You notice that there's not a lot of gristle or fat. It's very lean, red, and bloody beef.
Okay.
And it's as if, you know how we have to freeze meat to sustain it?
Yeah.
It's like this meat was sustained magically and just has this freshness to it, as if it was pulled right off the cow not 30 minutes ago.
If it's got magical properties, can I do an Arcana check and just check for any, if there's magic still sort of flowing in it, through it, or around it?
You can roll an Arcana check.
All right. That would be, that's +5, so 21 again.
Okay, so you inspect the beef, and you have a sense that there's magic at play. Preservatives. There are magical preservatives in it, but to
Okay.
your knowledge, that won't harm that won't harm
All right.
any.
I turn back to Varel and go, they're preserving the food with magic. It may not be a big deal. I'm just letting you know.
This whole place seems rather otherworldly.
Agreed. It might be fine, though. I mean, I don't know that I've eaten magical food other than those pills that lady gave me. Or whatever they were. Or did I drink that? I don't remember.
There were pills, I think.
It was a foggy time. I saw a lot of bunnies. I don't remember. But anyway, it seems like that's okay. We can probably eat this food. And we got to eat something. So it's this or we die.
It's a tenuous contract here, but if we were to venture outside, I fear our delicious souls would work them into a frenzy.
Yeah.
I think that gives us a sort of leniency with our guard as long as we stay inside.
I agree.
All right. So if you're done inspecting the kitchen, you return and enjoy the pleasant company of the courtesans. When your drinks run out, is anyone refilling on any drinks? Are we anyone getting drunk? I'm mainly looking at you, Hope and Stanley.
I'll maintain a conscious level of kind of like floating on the clouds, not too far gone. So I'll slowly drink and then slowly drink.
So the evening progresses, and you enjoy the pleasant company of the courtesans. Stanley, I don't know what kind of haircut you're getting. Is there anything you want?
Basically, it's going to be, shaved down on the sides, kind of long and pulled back on the top, past where the goggles.
So your ears are now very visible. No
yes,
longer.
ears are visible. Got the, kind of Western style curls up on the sides, mustache. Got a nice little goatee down at the bottom now.
Okay, so mustache now canon.
Yep.
Yep, it's
For
canon.
now, at least.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Any recoloring? Any streaks?
Nope. Stays brown.
Okay.
Is it okay if Nash goes, Stanley, ask for a happy ending?
What are you talking about, Nash?
It's a joke. Go back to your haircut. He's no fun, I say to Varel.
Who do you say that to? You say that to the eunuch you're playing
No,
cards
Varel,
with?
I said it to Varel. Oh, well, that's right. We're not in the thing anymore. I've sat
The
down.
eunuch's like, ha ha, you tell that pansy boy. Look at that fancy boy over there. Basically, this guy laughs at all your jokes.
Okay.
He thinks you're funny.
He's my
You've
kind of...
over through the course of playing cards, you've earned his respect, and now whenever you make fun of someone, you have you have a guy who's willing to laugh at all your jokes now.
All right.
Eventually, Varel, the impasse recedes, and you begin to receive your cleaning from the lizard folk woman, who does an amazing job of getting into every scale and cleaning out grime with her little scratchy devices. And you continue dancing, Hope, and staring into this gorgeous tiefling's eyes. Is there a name that you like best?
Demarian. But I wouldn't
Okay,
say
so
it out loud for everyone.
You wouldn't
else
say
to
it out
hear.
loud, but he introduces himself as Demarian. As if somehow he knew.
Okay.
He's I'm Demarian. He's not much for conversation, though, and you're not really
No.
talking to him unless you want to.
No.
So the night progresses on. Everyone gets their food. The beef brisket is mwah. Cobb salad is delicious, as well as the blue cheese. Nash, you take 30 minutes before you start eating your food because you don't trust it, but eventually you start eating it. And John, you like your brisket. I wrote brisk balance. Is that right?
Brisk balance.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know why I
either.
wrote that there. But you were having a beef brisket, right?
Yeah.
And Varel, the Tarrasque that you were fed is delicious.
Oh,
So what? You just ate, and you guys ended up just eating in the chairs. You didn't really go to the table, and as you've been being cleaned, you're in heaven. This is the most delicious food that you've ever felt, ever eaten, and you feel empowered. You feel strong, and you gain a temporary boost to your strength of 2 points.
ooh.
Oh.
It's all right.
That'll last for 24 hours. Hope, you have your stew, and it reminds you of home. It's cooked to perfection. In fact, it's almost as if, was it your mother or father who would make the stew?
It would have been mother.
Okay, it's almost as if she made it herself. And after a couple of piss ales, you haven't drank very much. You're feeling really good. The night progresses on. The musicians are great. Is anyone going to take a bath before bed?
I will.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yes.
All right.
Everyone.
Everyone's
So
on board with the bath.
The baths are this ornate place where there's like these tubs and there's these faucets there, and you can turn the faucet on and fill up the tub. But they're divided by curtains, so everyone has their own private area. I imagine you invited Demetrius in with you, Hope, to help bathe you, or just sit with you.
Yeah,
I'm not.
totally.
Yeah. Stanley,
We'll take
do you,
an end stall, the most
Yeah.
secluded one.
and do the other guests hear noises coming from your stall?
Maybe giggles.
Yeah.
Giggles.
Okay.
We'll hear little giggles.
Like logos, like and you know.
He's not one for conversation.
And do you bring your barber with you, Stanley?
No. No, that job is done.
I'll
We
totally
said our
clean-
goodbyes.
I'll totally clean you, Sonny, if you want. I can do that too.
On Nash's stall, they're sitting there naked with the showers going.
Playing cards.
Yeah, the card player can come. He can come. That's fine.
Yeah, you guys still playing cards in the bath?
No,
It's like a
I'm in the
hot tub.
I'm in the bath cleaning myself, and he's playing solitaire and making comments to himself.
All right, so you guys are in there.
And he doesn't seem to care. He doesn't care at all that there's a naked.
No. It's just a human body.
Yeah.
Remember, he's a eunuch too, so he's not even shocked when you disrobe, and he's just doesn't pay any mind to it at all. Varel, your faucet spews out sand,
Magic.
and you go to walk in and start bathing, and your attendant, the lizard folk woman, follows you there, but then just looks away and just stands there.
I will keep my back to her and close the curtain.
Very good. So you guys all take your baths, and then once the baths are done, you see that there's another doorway to where there are bedrooms. There's a hallway down the back, and that there's a beautiful, beautiful king size bed in each of these 4 rooms towards the back that you can each take for yourselves and enter when you're ready. So how late does everyone stay up? Did people just go to bed? It's up to you. How do you spend the rest of your evening?
Well, Nash is going to bed.
Okay.
He's missing hit points. He's tired. He's sick of all the giggling he can hear out of that one room. And he needs to dream away the thoughts of Stanley and the old haircutting lady getting it on. So he's going to go to bed.
Okay.
I
And
don't know what goes through your head, man.
Stanley, are you staying up? Anything else happening?
No, I'd probably retire to my room fairly early. I'm pretty worn out from the fight and just prestidigitate all the clothes. It's been a bloody battle and all that, and
Okay.
probably read for a bit before finally going to sleep.
All right. And Varel,
I
do you
will
dismiss your attendant, and how are you spending your evening? Because you're very different than the rest of the party.
Yeah, I will after the bath return to the main area by the fire there and listen to more music and request one of those fine bean juices I had at the inn. Those many
Oh, the
days
Coffee.
ago.
All
Yes.
The bean juices.
right. You're not going to be very tired. The coffee is made for you. This time it's made with actual cream. They offer you cream this time instead of sand squid, and it's delicious. You have a latte, you have a cappuccino, you take an Americano. Like, they keep offering you different styles of coffee, and I assume you just keep taking them because they're delicious.
Yeah, well, and I figured also I was magically healed by a demigod of some kind, so I'm not too sleepy.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, and Hope, do you retire to your chambers with Demetrius?
Yeah, I retire and I order a steady flow of drinks for the night.
Okay, so you have room service delivering you drinks. You have the best sex of your life that you've ever had with Demetrius, and eventually you tire out after however many times, 1d20 times. And then...
Well, let's go. 20, natural 20.
And then you both fall asleep. All right, so everyone's asleep except for Varel and Chateau Weir. And now everyone has pleasant sleep. Beds are comfortable. The atmosphere is great, even though you don't need to breathe. Everyone feels restful and at peace. But something happens.
Uh-oh.
So I need everyone to take off their headphones except for Hope.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And it'll be it'll be a little while, maybe. All right.
Okay.
So as you sleep and dream, you eventually become quite lucid in your thoughts. And you find yourself in the desert, in the open desert. And you used to own a vehicle back where you lived. What vehicle did you own?
A motorcycle.
Good. Okay, so you're on a motorcycle. And was there the collection of families where you lived? What was the name of that place?
We called it the Haven.
Okay. So right now you're in the open desert and it's a familiar area. You're driving back home to the Haven. And there's music playing. You've got out of a little radio in the motorcycle. And it's a typical day in your memory of out on a hunt, maybe, or running an errand, and you're on your way back. And you can see the Haven approach now in view. About how many families lived in the Haven?
10 to 15.
Okay, so maybe like they're more farmstead style houses, or is it a collection of close village houses?
Everyone has a decent amount of property, a good amount of space.
Okay, so you drive towards the Haven and see the collection of houses, and you see home. And as you get closer, you see your last memories of the Haven were one where it was destroyed. And it was littered with bodies, which I believe were burned, right?
Yes.
It's not like that now. There are people working. As you drive by one field, a gentleman you know from town waves to you. So, gives you a hello. And you race towards the Haven and you see your house come into view. In the front yard, on sort of bent over on a knee, you see a familiar figure. Describe what your mother looked like.
She was the deep red skin like I have, but she had strikingly blonde hair. She had blue eyes. They looked regular. Smaller horns, just little stubs on her head.
What was
No
her name?
tail.
Do you know her name, or did you just call her Mom?
I just called her Mom.
Okay. So she's out there with some sunglasses on, tending to a garden out front. And then it's as if she hears the motorcycle as you rev it towards home. She looks in your direction, stands up, and starts waving you down. So you
Sweet.
pull up with the motorcycle, cut the engine, and she runs towards you and says, "Loopy Loo," and Loopy Loo, and is very excited to see you and runs towards you, and is running towards you to give you a big hug.
I'll take the helmet off and put it on the motorcycle and kind of like skip toward her, arms open.
And she gives you a fierce hug. You guys meet, and she hugs you, embraces you very strongly, and just squeezes you. And you just hear her say, like muffled in the side of your neck, and you can feel wetness of tears on your neck. Just, "I'm so glad to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I love you."
I love
My
you
Australian's
too, Mom.
not great, so everyone fill in the blanks on that one.
I love you too, Mom.
And the hug lasts for a while. Eventually, she pulls you out and holds you in front of you and says, "Let's have a look at you. Oh, you're beautiful. So beautiful. I've made your favorite. I can't do Australian.
Just
I made
do
your
whatever
favorite.
you want.
I've made your favorite. It's inside. Come on in. Beef stew. Is it beef stew? Wait. We'll say it's a beef stew. You said.
Yeah.
Rustic stew. Oh, rock lizards. That's what it is. I made your favorite. It's rock lizard. Come on in. and you walk inside and you smell rock lizard stew, and it's the smell of home that you haven't smelled. What has it been, a decade?
Yeah.
Describe
about-
what your home looks like.
It's very modest. There's a room for my parents. I've got my own room. And then there's just the big communal room. There's like a ramshackle little couch in the corner. There's a little poorly woven rug on the ground. Always gets sandy. You can't keep the sand out as much as Mom sweeps the floor. And then there's just this kitchen, lots of iron, things that were found and repurposed into cooking things.
Okay. And she brings you to the kitchen, and there's a pot, big pot. It's filled with stew, and she takes a ladle, puts it out into a bowl, pours out some just juice that you guys would drink, and sets it out on the table for you, and just bids you to sit down and eat. There you go, love. And
Thanks,
she
Mom.
just looks at you with love in her eyes and just watches you as you sit down.
I'll watch her too. And then I'll look around and I'll look back at her and I'll ask, Mom, is this real?
This is real. This is really me here. What are you doing here?
What do you mean? I'm dreaming. This isn't gonna last.
I was in a place. It was all white. And I felt nothing but goodness. And then a voice called out, and it told me that you were coming. And it told me that if I made an exchange, I could see you again.
Oh no, Mom.
But I had to see you. The way we parted was so sudden. I never got to say goodbye or told you how much I love you.
Mom, I buried you 11 years ago.
But I'm here now. How is your father?
He's dead, Mom. I buried all of you.
Now, bodies were burned, right?
Yeah,
And how did you know
I
for certain
don't.
you buried your dad?
I'm just assuming everybody was everybody.
So she shakes her head and says, "No, love. He's not here. Your father's alive.
Mom,
The last
this-
thing I saw them push him to the ground and tie him up and take him out. And they said he'd be good. He'd be good for a slave.
Who took him, Mom?
I don't know. It was a woman, all in red. They came to the village and they were desperate. And they said, "Give us everything." And we were going to do it, but you remember Taylor, the neighbor Taylor?
Yes.
She tried something. She tried to take a gun, and then everything went crazy. There was a fight, but it didn't last long. And we lost.
So it
She was a woman in red. She was faster than anything I've seen.
Was there anything else she was wearing?
She wore bullets like it was an accessory. A belt made of bullets, and a shoulder strap made of bullets. And she was attractive, yeah, but she was also older. She said she kept calling the men she was with the dead men. And she killed all of us. She took your father.
I'll find
I
him.
don't
Mom.
want you to be. Tell me you're living good. If your father perhaps is in danger. If
I
he's
can
not
say
with
that.
you, where is he?
I'll find him, Mom.
And she looks at you and she kneels down as you're in front of your plate and she says, one thing I want to tell you. Something bad happened, eh? But don't live with anger in your heart. I don't want this for you. Please take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
remember what I taught you. And beware where you are. They may be our ancestors, but they are dangerous.
Yeah, Mom. I know.
And she goes to give you a hug again. And she's like, I'm sorry I had to see you to say goodbye. We won't
You-
see again, but I love you
you're
with
right.
all my heart.
I love you too, Mom.
And as she says that, she seems to be pulling or stretched away from you, and the reality that you're in of this vision
Mom.
just pulls away from you. And she goes, and she has this look of
I'll reach
sadness
out
and
to
longing
her.
in her heart. And as you reach out, it gets farther and farther, and then the dream fades.
I'll wake up in a sweat. All
You're-
from
you- no.
tears.
Let's get everyone back. You're
Okay, we're coming back, Pharrell.
all right.
Back.
So Varel, everyone's sleeping right now, and you're up drinking coffee, hanging out with the musicians. And as you do this, it gets quiet, and the songs become mellower and late night and after party-ish. And then you hear a knock at the door, and it's a loud knock.
I will look to the musicians.
They stop, and then they continue playing.
Mm-hmm. And I will keep drinking my coffee.
And then you hear it again.
Nope. Nope. That's part of
You hear
the.
You hear a diminutive voice. It's like, please, is anyone in there? Please help me. Is anyone in there? And you keep hearing the knocking.
Musicians, louder, please.
And the musicians start playing louder, but the knocking gets louder in anticipation too. Please, is anyone in there? It's dangerous out here. They're going to get me. I need help. Please,
We live in a demon town.
Please.
Of course, it's dangerous out there. No, thank you. Baba,
I need help.
Baba, there's someone at the door, Baba.
And then you don't hear a response from Baba, but then you see a shadow in a window nearby, and you see like the shape of looks like a little girl with hair, these pigtails, and these little demon horns on it, and it's looking in, going. You hear, "Help me in there! My father's coming to beat me!
All right, then I stand
Help
up.
me!"
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Lovely music all night. Thank you. This bean juice was amazing. To my room, and I walk very deliberately, holding my coffee.
As you go to leave, then you hear, "I found you, Selena," and then you hear a whip of a belt. That's for leaving the house.
Sure is.
And you hear the cries of a little girl. Don't beat me, father! Don't beat me! No, I'm sorry! And you hear crying. You're,
Probably normal parenting in a demon town. Probably normal. Not good.
you hear the cries grow fainter as you assume the father has carried off the little girl, and you head to your bedroom.
Now, what do I do with this?
There's no one in the room with you, or did you bring a courtesan with you? Did you bring any
No,
courtesans
I'm
with you?
debating how to use a bed, and I will eventually end up under it.
Okay,
sleeping
we're gonna sleep
on the
under it.
floor.
All right, you try to go to sleep, but you're awake. You can't sleep. And then as you sleep, you hear it tink, 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 tink on the window again.
No.
There's a
Very
window
well.
that's overlooking the piss, and you sort of peek an eye out a little bit to take a look. and you see the same little shape again, looking at you. And, hello in there, Mister.
Close it up.
Oh, I escaped from my daddy, but I need a place to stay.
Sure you did.
All right, so this goes on for several hours as you spend the entire sleeping period because you can't fall asleep trying to ignore this demon.
Okay.
All right, so hope you wake up, as we discussed. Demetrius is lying there. He's spooning you. He's sleeping. Your sheets are covered in sweat.
Ew. Gross.
I'll slip out of the bed, head to the showers.
Okay. All right, and eventually everyone you get the benefit of the full rest. You get the benefit of being level 4 and all that entails.
Sweet.
If anyone's sleeping in Varel, you're not tired, so what finally breaks this long evening's watch is the sound of like as trumpet blares out. So if anyone didn't wake up naturally after that period of time, you're woken by the sound of a little trumpet. And you hear Baba in the hallway going, It's time now to seek a Tobel... No, wrong voice. It's time now to seek a Tobel Praise. Please come, guests. Please come. Your carriage is awaiting you. To the main hall.
Right, I will wake up, get dressed, and make my way there.
Same.
All right.
Just throw my cloak over. That's all I got to do.
The
I show
knocking
up.
has stopped. Yeah.
Still holding my coffee cup, though it's empty and a little wired looking.
All right. And
Morel, are you all right?
There were children at the windows all night.
Oh, were there? I think I slept through all of that.
Oh, they were busy being beaten by their fathers, but I did nothing. Yes,
This doesn't sound like you, Varel.
I know.
Seems
That's
like
what the child thought. Probably getting in, trying to climb in, like the beholder trying to get in the head.
seems
I'm
like
sorry
you
that
would...
kept you up all night. What have you got in your hand there?
A bean cup that's left. Delicious. Energizing.
You had coffee last night.
Yes, and listen to music until the knocking began.
For real, that might be why you heard demon children all night. You're wired.
Oh. Am I ill?
Coffee's not a before bed drink. Coffee's a up in the morning drink. Actually, now would be a great time for coffee.
Oh. Then more coffee, then.
Baba claps his hands. Coffee for Varel.
I would take one as well, please.
Okay. Two coffees for Varel and Stanley. Nash, would you like one?
Yes, make it 3.
Okay, 3 coffees. And Hope, would you like a coffee? You're also nursing a kind of pretty harsh headache.
Oh, yeah. I'll have a coffee, please.
Okay. 4 coffees for our delightful guests, please. After you hear the psh, psh, psh of like a cappuccino machine, and then this is, teenager looking at him, is like, all right, I got your coffees here, and he brings them out and puts them on the table, and they're in these nice.
Mispronounces our names on the cups.
Yeah, it just says Vicryl on instead of Varel, and says Poke instead of Hope on the thing.
What does mine
It's
say?
like, it says Pash.
Pash. Okay.
And Stanley is Stunley. And you see, there's these paper cups, and Baba's like, they're in paper cups, so you can bring them with you when you seek a Tobel Praise. How was everyone's sleep tonight? I hope it was delightful.
Like a rock.
Is everyone sated? Before you go, because you might not be coming back, is there any other wishes that I can do to attend to your mortal desires?
This was a magical evening, Baba. And
Thank
you have
you. Thank you.
outdone yourself.
Excellent.
Your
Well,
hospitality has been phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Please be sure to mention me to Catobal Praith, please. And say only good things, so I may keep my employ.
Nothing but the best for you, Baba. Thank you.
Oh, your
Baba,
Toby's out.
Well-
and I'll kind of, jitter myself down to it. Baba, there was a little girl all night being beaten. But I didn't. I listened to your advice, Baba.
Oh, very good, very good. Yes, as I warned you, some less scrupulous demons in town might have tried to trick you and take your soul,
Yeah.
so you were very smart to listen to the instructions.
Yes.
Good man.
Good Baba. Mm.
We will send out some of our police to investigate. Very well. If that's everything, then thank you so much for being the most delightful guest I've ever had the pleasure of restraining myself. I mean, entertaining. In this fine establishment of the Chateau Weir. Enjoy your conversation with Catobal Praith. And with that, he opens up the door, and you see the skeleton and the hood, and you're back into the blackness of the Weir. It's outer space. There's no real day or night here. And the black, jagged buildings, and you can walk out into the carriage.
You know, with the exception of wanting to be eaten by just about everything, this has been awfully pleasant.
Hope will just look at the ground. She's got a 1,000-yard stare and just kind of follow behind everybody.
I say, I didn't enjoy any of it. Because I was stressed the whole time that this place sucked and we were all going to die and we've been poisoned. I know we weren't, but I felt the stress and anxiety of that all night. So I didn't enjoy it. So I'm glad you had a good time, Stanley, with grandma haircut and all that.
Look, we were in perhaps the most dire situations we've ever been in our lives, and we're still here. Yes, we're in danger. We're always in danger. Don't fault me for having a good time while I can. If this is my last night on Earth, then so be it. I'm gonna enjoy it.
All right, I'll let you have this one.
Toby's like, all right, now get in the... Oop, that's Western. All right, now get in the... get in the carriage. Catobal Praith doesn't want to be waiting. Come on now. And he motions for you to get back into the carriage.
Climb on it.
All right.
Okay.
Does everyone enter?
Everyone's in. Yeah.
Yep. Nash isn't going to be like not trusting it.
I don't never
I don't
trust
trust
it.
this carriage.
I don't trust anything, but it's fine. I'll get in.
All right, so you guys get into the carriage, and just like before, you close the curtain, and it's dark, and you hear the trot. Oop. You hear the trot of the horse. Here, yeah, from Toby, the skeletal coachmaster, or skeletal coachmaster.
I can't be the only one who had a good time last night. I mean, I know, Varel, you had coffee. Hope, you had to have had a good time.
I'll just kind of mumble something about natural 20s and whatnot. No, I just mumble something as I stare into my coffee.
Hope, is your soul intact?
What? Oh, yeah. I'm kind of okay. So Hope is clearly wrestling with trying to tell you guys something, but she's not sure if she should tell you. But then looking at the ground and then looking at all three of you, she realizes that you're starting to become family, and that means something to her. So she'll look at you guys and she'll start to tell the story of her village. How it was a homestead, everyone lived together. She had a family, she had a love, she had all that stuff. And then one day she came back from hunting, and all of the bodies were burned, all of the buildings were burned to the ground, and she buried everybody. She buried them, and then she left, and she went on this killing spree because she thought maybe whoever did it was still in the vicinity. But she never knew. And then going through that, we get to now, and so last night, I had a dream that it was my mom, and she told me my dad was still alive. And he was taken by this woman in red who wore bullets. And I don't know what to do with that.
Is there any chance that that's true?
As far as I know, it was my mom.
At any point did this dream compel you to venture outside, make yourself unsafe in any way?
No, she said she made a deal to leave this white place she was at to see me one more time. So now she's probably floating down below to tell me about this woman.
Did you learn anything else about who this woman is beyond just red and wearing bullets?
She called the gang with her the Dead Men.
Varel, what did you hear last night? I mean, you've told...
Shocking.
Right. But was there...
So you guys do the words "dead men," Varel.
Yeah,
Remind
can I
me.
do my memory? But
Okay.
isn't that-
Do
I'm
a
going
history
through my
check, I
notes.
guess.
Yeah, I guess something just for me, because I'm pretty sure that's the gang who wanted to hijack the bank. But I wouldn't just start blouting that, aloud with Hope sitting there being hopeful.
So you remember there from your memory, you remember that there was a woman in red who referred to herself as Jolt Elagos, who was the leader of the Dead Men posse or Dead Men gang that you had a conversation with. But only you were introduced to this information.
We all saw her, though, right? We've
Mhm.
all seen the woman in red with the
Yeah.
bandolier.
The,
Yeah,
the only
we
person
saw.
who's spoken to her is Varel.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you were present in game. Like that wasn't. I don't think you guys were present. when
I
that
think we
happened.
left her food at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I ate her sandwich. I don't quite remember. But, I mean, Varel's not a tactful person, so my face would be readable, but Varel would keep this information knowing we're about to go to a very careful, wordy exchange. But his eyes would be shocked and darting around in thought and hitting that left corner of memory.
Okay.
Can we see that in the carriage? It's very dark in here, right?
Only those with dark vision.
John has it.
Well,
So as far as you know, all your weird faces, no one can see. Oh, they can't see actually. But you forget and think no one can see it because you can't see.
Vorel, this description reminds me of somebody we've seen in Slave Town.
That is true. And the gang does fire a memory.
Do
Do you know them, Varel?
They asked me to rob a bank with them, but we left for the mines that night.
This was that group, the group that mentioned robbing the bank.
Yes. The bandolier lady with the bank robbery. We were to meet in the shit-eater's pens that night.
Why didn't you tell us about this before?
Well, you were burning down the town, I believe, at the time, and Stanley was asleep in the streets, perhaps?
You did tell us. We just felt we had so much on our plates. We didn't want to go investigate this. That was the night that you burnt down the town, though, Nash.
I was out then. I don't remember this.
I apologize. Hope I didn't think it would be of importance. She was odd, admired me for my strength, and wished me to become a tool to her services.
I'll sit quietly. Hope will sit quietly. mulling
Okay.
over the information.
And as this happens, you hear "Whoa!" from Toby, and the carriage comes to an abrupt stop, and you hear the wood steps. You hear the clacking of skeletal feet on cobblestone as he walks over and pulls back the curtain. And as he pulls back the curtain, you see this great castle before you, large and black, and again on the periphery of the island where the weir is. So you see nothing but outer space in the back. And then the gates open, and there are these guards, some of them demonic, some of them in shapes of humanoids you recognize, some you don't. There are many guards standing still and around, and some of them open the door. And Toby says, "All right, then, we're here. Enjoy your conversation with the Lord of Soul Broking himself, Ketobelbraith. He awaits you." You
Toby,
guys disembark.
as I leave,
Yes, Governor.
I am Governor. Yes, I am unfamiliar with these lands. Do we refer to him as Governor?
No, you can just call him my lord or your highness or your greatness. But because you're mortals, probably saying Ketobelbraith's fine with him. We're quite informal with mortals. Worry not.
No required prostration.
No, not from you.
Thank you, Toby.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Enjoy your stay. That's a little loud. Pardon me. Habit. And you guys walk through in the large castle ramparts, past you, and you're in this big open courtyard, and down the courtyard is a set of steps, and then large doors open up into a chamber. And you proceed down unattended by any guards. Not that there's anywhere else really to go but forward in this courtyard. There are no other doors and places of business or interest inside the walls. And as you enter into this large room. And again, this room has color in it, where the rest doesn't. It glows a warm brown, and there are these braziers with flames, and colors that you recognize and know, and red and orange, and they light up the walls. And on the walls, just like in the Dragon Engine room underneath Dust Hill, you see they're lined with skulls. But it's not just human skulls. It's lined with the skulls of goats, of little humanoids, of large humanoids, very mismatched. They're like what appears to be the head of great beasts that you can't even name or recognize, large dinosaur and reptilian beasts. And these skulls are blackened from time and look old. There's a big circular room, and at the center of the room, there's a large throne set upon about 5 or 6 stairs in a black cement floor. And atop it, you see Ketobelbraith, 7 feet, but sitting, all black, bald-headed, with small horns coming from the side, moving back. He sort of has 1 foot up and 1 foot extended out. And he's leaning in his chair, and he's got his fingers wrapping one of the chair sides. Behind him, behind the throne next to him, you recognize the form of Quizquaz, large, muscular, hunched over, 20 feet, but hunched over to make himself small, with his wings flapping and a little tick making him as he sits there and watches like his right-hand attendant. You hear, "Welcome, welcome. Please step forward." Ketobelbraith addresses you and says, "It's good to see you again. I trust your stay at the Chateau Weir was to your liking."
Thank you, Ketobelbraith. It very much was.
Did everyone have a nice time? Are your mortal needs sated?
Thoroughly, my lord.
No need for such formalities here, Vorel. I'm only too happy to have provided you with some relief from the mortal world before returning you to it, as thanks for your the role you played in releasing me. Was there anything you'd like to add about your stay at the Chateau Weir?
Baba was a gracious host.
I'm glad to hear it. A good review, I take it.
He did a fantastic job.
Nash raises his hand. I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You should put a D at the end of it. Because that place is whacked, yo. Call it Chateau Weird. Just put a D on there. That place is crazy. I don't know how you guys are bringing food out of the universe and making all this stuff. We had a great time. It was fine and everything, but it's super weird. So just put the D on the end.
This place is most excellent. It comes at a price, but its pleasures and benefits are many. But so thank you. We will take your feedback and apply it to the chateau. And give it some consideration. Now, it is my understanding that you didn't sign the waivers regarding allergies.
That is correct.
Now, I understand your reticence to sign things given where you are, but this was very important. So please, in the future, do not give my agents a hard time when it comes to necessary paperwork required.
You have my apologies. Next time we will be more attentive.
Thank you. Now, to the matter at hand, you have questions. I'll answer some of them. But understand this. My name is Ketobelpraith. And through millennia, I have come to become a great force of power in this place. And I've come to understand that information is power. And I don't trade it for free. So I may be able to answer some of your questions, but for the more deeper of secrets, we would need to talk business. But I'd like to get to know you better first. Tell me about your desires. What do you seek? Nash Magard of the Solar Mines.
Well, for one thing, a way out of here.
We will arrange that for you, not to worry.
Can we go anywhere we want?
We will have to return you from where we left.
Whoa, whoa. And I look at Stanley. The whole point was we were stuck down there, and this was our way out of here.
This is not my doing. You have to understand we are under siege. Our magic only works deep in the recesses of your world. And the reason for that is there's an usurper who deigns to take our power for himself. And as such, put a restraint on our ability to operate openly on its surface. Which is why you found me in a hole and not at the top of one of your mountains.
Well, this does cause some level of concern for us, though, Ketobelpraith. One of our key issues was in getting down to you, and as you said, assisting in freeing you. We have found ourselves trapped with no method of getting out of that place.
This is a pedestrian problem that can be solved easily. I seek not to know what your concerns are about crossing a road. I want to know about your desires.
I don't know what the hell he means.
What do you wish for? What is your purpose? What do
Saving
you
the
do
world.
in the world?
Reversing what happened.
Pardon me, Hope.
Reversing what happened.
Reversing what?
What happened to the earth when the dragons came in? It wasn't like that before.
You wish to heal your world.
Yes.
Ah, now here is a dreamer among you. Here is one who thinks more than 2 feet in front of what she can see.
Nay.
You want to heal your world? Well, first you must rid it of its blight. You know
What's
not
the blight?
of what I speak.
Weakness.
In due time, I understand your desires. Is there anything else you seek to accomplish?
I wish to restore some order to the world above.
A worthy goal. Elaborate.
The world as it is now is a place where those who harm and hinder others are the only ones who reap any sort of reward. Before, in the times before the world was torn apart, there were societies that aided one another, that grew great collectively instead of individually. I seek to restore some of that.
And you're personally affected by this? How come by you this goal?
I have felt the hardships of this world as much as any other. I have a book that communicates of a time that is clearly no longer there. I would like to see it restored.
I seek
worthy
only
goal.
revenge. Revenge is what I want. I want the solar mines destroyed and those who trapped me there. And if your way of cleaning the world accomplishes that goal, then that's all I need.
Also a worthy response. Varel, what is it you seek, child?
This world is full of weak men who use the strong, those who abuse their power. I wish to see strength restored. Those great to lead, rather than those corrupt.
So you understand that the blight I speak of is in fact the same thing that you fight against. But tell me, how have your efforts gone thus far?
They are mired by society and laws that make no sense, and tribes and guilds that have made up their own rules against those of the natural world.
Sorry.
He flourishes as you speak.
Yeah.
Burrell got fired up.
Yeah.
Very well. I understand that you will have questions for me, but know this.
Gosh dang it. Sorry, something's wrong with this thing. Sorry. Keep going, Bo. I'm sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
I have some means in which to help you accomplish your goals. Most of all, I have information. I understand from that you may have questions about Thailander. Please, I would provide this information to you if you have them. Any?
Is he gone?
Thailander is in the piss. His service is complete. I was trapped by our common enemy a millennia ago in the prison under the mountains after he had learned all the secrets he needed. I reached out in my time after 1,000 years, and I found deep in that hole someone who sought revenge with every fiber of his being. And I whispered out to him, and I gave him the tools that he needed to eventually find me and to recruit followers to dig into the earth, find my prison, and then send him to collect the necessary reagents to reanimate my prison. What I had not yet accounted for was a way to release myself, but you took care of that, and for that I thank you. I hope you will not confound Thailander and his goals with my nature, which are vastly different and vastly more cosmic.
And what are your goals for the world above?
My goal is to see to the protection of the Weir. Now, mortals tend to have very strong hang-ups about how we conduct our business. After all, we come to your worlds and try to convince you to give us your souls.
You can
That
see
is
why
what we
maybe
do.
that's considered a slightly questionable practice.
However, I have no stake in enslaving your kind or invading your world. I simply want to ensure a healthy economy for the Weir. And I am a self-interested individual, so that my economy would outpace those of my competitors. Regardless, I have several things in fact, that I can do to assist you. And I would ask if you would formally enter into a compact with me.
Guess that greatly depends on what you're offering and what we're giving up for it.
I will offer you my boon, which will extend to you great power beyond that of mere mortals, strengthening your prowess as you choose. Furthermore, I will reveal to you the solution to your problems. I have had my agents do a bit of reconnaissance about where you're from. Most notably, Thailander has also informed me of the goings-ons in the place that you call Slave Town and Dust Hill. It would seem the principal has power over everything. And if I'm right in guessing, you would like to see that power taken away. Set free. Give freedom to the slaves of Slave Town and Dust Hill. And
Ideally,
solve the problem in such a way that they will never return. Yes?
that would be ideal.
I have a stratagem for you to do this. But I cannot reveal this information unless we formally make an accord. Does this interest you?
As I said, I think we're interested. The question is, what are we giving up to obtain it?
As I've stated, the Weir is under siege from a powerful force from your world, and we're prevented from accessing it or doing anything about it. Thank you to the magic restraining our ability to influence. So, armed with the information and boon that I will give you, I ask that you return to your world and assassinate this person. And this is no simple request of an assassination. It is the principal himself that I wish dead. And he has found a way to cheat death. So you would need to assure his permanent destruction on the material plane where he lives.
Will you give us the tools to do this?
I will give you the tools to become more powerful. I will give you the location of ancient demonic artifacts that will greatly increase your legend. I will provide you with the means to rid the land beyond the Dead Fingers of any of the principal's men, the Toyota host, the Kuromukishi. And in return, within 1,000 days and 1,000 of your nights, you will kill the principal. If you do not kill the principal within 1,000 days and 1,000 nights, you will forfeit your souls to me.
That's the price.
That's the price.
And what do we get?
Tell me, Nash, do you not want to know what you have locked away inside you? Just say yes to me, and I will give it to you now.
All I have to
answer.
All I have to do is say yes.
Yeah, and then he snaps his finger, and a large scroll case appears in black, and a scroll of paper rolls out.
Okay.
And a pen floats in front of it, and this pen is white. All you see is blacks in this realm. This pen is white, and it floats. Each of you sign the paper. The contract binding your commitment to kill the principal within 1,000 days and 1,000 nights, or you forfeit your souls to me, and I will reveal the location of artifacts that will grant you great power. I will give you my boon. And just DM note, the boon will give you access to a feat in addition to your skill increase for level 4, so you get both.
Okay.
Which is outside of the normal rules.
Oh.
He will reveal artifacts, a magic item of great power for each of you. Nash, he'll give you yours right away. Everyone else, he'll reveal the location of where they are to you.
Okay.
He will also provide you, as your understanding, with the means to defeat the slavers in Slavetown and Dust Hill. For good.
And you'll tell Nash his deal?
He will give you your power now. I will reveal it to you now, Nash. But you must sign before I can provide you with any further information.
Well, I look at the team. Suddenly, I'm a little overcome. My character's a little overcome with desire to do this now, because up till now I was very resistant.
Is this a all or nothing deal? Do we all need to sign in order, or can some of us opt out?
It's up to you. I can't make your choices for you, but yes, unless you manage your group on your own. There's no commitment. I'm not forcing you to sign. You can walk away without signing anything, and I will deposit you back into the world that you come from, and we will never meet again.
This is a method to solve many problems. He's not asking for sanity or anything that we saw exhibited with Thailander. He's asking us to do something we'd probably be inclined to do given the means anyway.
Do we get
1,000
to keep the
days
power after
Works out to
we-
about 4. You have about 4 years to do it, or 3 years to do it. 1,000 days. So you have also ample time.
After let's say we kill him, do we get to keep this power?
You can keep it. It's yours to keep. Without condition. There are no curses. There are no restrictions. And you're not dealing with some lesser demon trying to trick a poor fool with verbiage. As you can see, I've been a distinguished businessman since you've arrived, treating my guests with honor and treating you with respect and being honest. The only parts I haven't told you are simply because things are not given away for free in this world and require a contract.
So you tell me how to heal the air if I sign this.
To begin with healing the earth, we must rid it of its curse. And that curse is named the Principal, who siphons, who uses the slaves of your world to create bodies for himself. The slaves you know that are put to work are nothing compared to the slaves he uses to refine molecular scratchings and composite new bodies with them using his magics. Most of the slaves he obtains from your world are simply used to preserve his immortality.
Would you
He's a
throw
sickness on this world and your world.
Would you throw in 4 passes for us to come back here anytime we want to the Weir and get food, haircuts, and lizard scale cleanings.
An interesting proposition. Let me consider it. You have to understand that our magic will not work on the surface. To open a portal, you would have to be underground. But it could be done.
It's like a vacation. Come up here and chill.
So you mean to the Chateau Weir?
Yeah.
I think this is. A
I can do
decision
this.
It's all right.
we-
Stanley, what?
I think this is a decision that we all have to make on our own. I don't think we can ask any of the others to commit to it necessarily, but
But would everyone?
I understand it's a big decision. Please, if you wish some privacy to discuss it amongst yourselves, we will retire for 20 minutes and return. Do you need time?
I'm ready to go. I want to know what's in me. With or without the
Sounds
Now,
passes,
if you want.
I'm ready to go. Well, I
I
don't
do
want.
not see a
I'm not signing unless they all want to sign. So I am going to team effort this.
There's nothing we need to discuss in private. I will hold it against none of you if you decide to take this boon. It sounds very powerful and a means to the end, but I wish the natural order and strength of the world restored. And if I lack the strength to do it myself, I will aid you all, but it will be my strength and no one else's that dictates my actions.
A commendable response, Pharrell. I admire you greatly.
I admire you greatly, and this is a great gift. And I welcome your understanding.
I am going to reach out with Mage Hand and pull the pen over into my hand.
With Mage Hand?
Yeah, it's
Is
my
it
new
new spell you
cantrip.
have?
It's my new cantrip. I got
So
the
what is it?
force,
It's just
yo.
like is it basically like those when you're really big, you're lazy, and you reach
Uh-huh.
for the Cheetos with your grab a
Uh-huh.
hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
It's basically that. I like to think of it as the force, as it sounds way cooler, Bo. But
Okay.
Cheeto
All right,
Force.
very good. Reach out with your hand and grab the pen with your telekinetic force.
pull it to my
And-
hand,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go sign.
All right, and it happens in silence, and Tobal Plaith watches you. You sign. Very good. Will there be anyone else signing?
Give me the pen.
Mhm.
Does Stanley still have the pen?
Yeah, hand it to Nash.
All right. I go over there and pull up my sleeve a little, showing off some tumors, and I sign that bastard.
You've made a good decision today, Nash. We will do great works together. Hope.
I'll look at the team and I'll think back to that dream I had. And I'll slowly grab the pen and sign my name.
Very good. You sign it. As you guys sign it, it burns the page, like incinerates your signature into it. Varel, one last chance to take my offerings, but I respect your decision to decline.
Laurel, I can't tell you that you're making a mistake. I think it's more likely that the three of us are, but I don't think there is any shame in taking the strength needed to elevate yourself. After all, it is challenging yourself that gives you strength to begin with. This is nothing if not another challenge.
My strength is from myself. And if Kotoba Praith is able to read minds, to see past the veneer of my flesh, he will see inside me a fire that burns great as equals, and I will control this world. Its natural order. I will be its champion. You're all champions of other things.
Very well. And Cthulhu Praith closes his fist, and the scroll slaps shut, and you hear a loud boom. Let it be so. And the case poofs out of existence. Immediately, Hope, Stanley, Nash, you feel intelligence spring forth inside you. You feel a feeling of knowledge and superiority as you're now able to take your stat increase and feat. You get both. Varel, you still have to choose between the two, but you get the benefit. There should be a way for you to just add a custom feat on the new character sheets in D&D Beyond. Pick a feat, and you now have it. And your proficiency increases immediately in this respect. You feel it immediately affect you, and you feel invigorated with energy. Now, Scott, just before we proceed, it is 8:07, my time, running on 3 hours. Do you want to find out next week or this week what happens? It's going to take 20 or 30 minutes, maybe.
Let's save it for next week. Let's make it a big reveal next week. I'm okay with that.
All right. So Cthulhu Praith says, now to make good on my promises, we will begin by revealing your strength, Nash. And he reaches out a hand, and a large column of light extends forth and pierces inside you, and your arms spread out beyond your control, and your legs spread out beyond your control. You remember how Rey was floating when Snoke was making her float in The Last Jedi? That's you. You're floating up, and you feel your body being torn apart. And he's like, ah! And the world turns into a giant cyclone. You see kaleidoscope visions, and near the big tunnel, firing up into the sky, all Thor Ragnarok style, as pain shoots through you, and you transport to somewhere new. And we'll find out where that is next week.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Maybe I should have found out. No, I can wait. I'm excited about that. That's awesome. Finally going to get an answer to that damn thing. So wait, where are they left? Are they just left standing there gawking like, where the hell did he go?
No, they see you. Like it's like in Snoke's room. Like they're there, and you're being, force floated. But they don't see what you see through the kaleidoscope. That's just you.
Okay. All right.
So we'll probably be doing a headphones off thing for you, Scott, for
next week. Okay.
what's happening there.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right.
Good game, everyone.
Yeah.
Nice little rest after all the dungeon slog. You got to hang out.
GG.
Yeah.
Chateau Weir.
I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was really good. So, So as you heard, next week will be when we find out the conclusion of that business. And, of course, all other goings on now that we've signed this horrible contract with a freaking goat man. Who knows what dangers it will bring. But we'll find out next week on There Will Be Dungeons. Don't forget,
Too long, 7 whole days.
I know, it's a long time. ThereWillBeDungeons.com is the website. You can find this and all the archives of the show right there in video form, audio form. Play it right there on the webpage if you like. You can also leave comments in the blog, and we might read them right here on the show. I think it's going to do it for us. Until next time, which will be sessions 24. Yeah, session 24 next time. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time on There Will Be Dungeons. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well done!